CHAMPS Hockey Time is presented by Lawrence Technological University, where Blue Devils dare. Also presented by Alta Equipment Company, Michigan's #1 construction equipment provider with over 40 brands. Get the right equipment for your project every time. Also brought to you by the Michigan High School Hockey Coaches Association. For all things Michigan High School hockey, go to the Hub, MIHSHockeyHub.com. National Coney Island, doggone good. And the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Coming to you from the campus of Lawrence Technological University in Southfield, Michigan, the State Champs Sports Network is on the air. All of our programming always presented by Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare. How you doing, everybody? It's the beginning of a new era on State Champs, sports-specific programming for the superfan. This program is everything Michigan high school hockey. Welcome to State Champs Hockey Time. I'm Lauren Plant.
I'm Jenna Skalski, and as the name tells you, we'll have 13 episodes for the high school hockey fan. We've got 8 games for you this week, as well as our hockey experts Sean Belegian and Jonathan Kidd to talk about all of it.
This week's Coach's Corner features Heartland headman Rick Gadwa as the Eagles hope for a three-peat in Division II. You'll get an update in the Michigan High School Player of the Year race, and we'll have our clip of the week.
Let's go ahead and drop the puck and get to our first set of highlights.
We've got a top 15 matchup in hockey. The number 13 Grosse Pointe South Blue Devils hosted the number 6 Trenton Trojans. First period, and the Trojans looking to get on the board early, but David Rivard blocks the wrister at the blue line, and he's got nothing but open ice in front of him. Makes one move and lifts it just above the glove. Blue Devils strike first. But it wouldn't take long for Trenton to respond. Nick Milhorn takes the pass out of the Trojan zone and does the rest. Cuts to the middle of the ice, lets it go top shelf, and ties this one up at 1. Second period, and the Blue Devils have the man advantage. Hunter Allen able to get a stick on the pass, dance around 2 Blue Devils, deliver a shot. It's off the pads, but Colin Preston able to bury it on the second chance. Trojans go in front, 2-1 after 2. Just a minute into the third. John McShane going to get the puck to Aaron Vilatel in front of the net. He'll dish it to Alex Makuta, who beats the goalie blocker side, ties us up at 2, and we're heading into overtime. 3 minutes in, Blue Devils trying to get out of their own zone. Colin Preston, who goes 5-hole, giving us our final score, 3-2. Trenton handing the Blue Devils their first loss of the season.
I'm Kevin Trzynski, and we head to the Mid-Michigan area as rivals Midland Dow and Midland squared off for the first time this season on Wednesday night. Midland Dow and White, looking to go 2-0 on the season, would get on the board in the first period. The sophomore Ryan Pomeranke takes it all the way to the net for the shot, but the senior Lucas Churchfield is there to knock home the rebound. Chargers out to a 1-0 lead. Dow looking to add another one with 6 minutes to go in the first. Pomeranke comes out of the corner. His shot is deflected, but check out Midland goalkeeper Luke Buza knocking it out of the air and then covers it up. But the Chargers would go on a 2-man advantage moments later. Billy Van Summeren picks the corner and snaps it home, and Midland Dow went into the first intermission, leading 2-0.
Come back. Let's win this period. We take it one shift at a time, one period at a time. We'll come back in after 17 minutes of game play. We'll regroup again, right? We'll take it to them in the third.
With 6 minutes to go in the second, Midland would get a 5-on-3 power play as well, and they would capitalize. Nathan Witt's slappers redeflected off the leg of Tanner Squires, and it goes into the back of the net. The Chemics now down 2-1 as we head into the third. Move ahead with 5 minutes to go in the game. Midland trying to even the game up, and they would. Isaac Daniel intercepts the puck and is off on the breakaway. He finishes it off for the game-tying goal. After 3 periods, it was a 2-2 contest. We now head to overtime. Midland Dow would go on the power play in the extra session, and they would get the job done. Alec Newton slides it over to Luke Blasey, and our National Coney Island Player of the Year candidate puts home the game winner as Midland Dow goes on to beat their rivals from Midland 3-2, the final.
I'm Lauren Plant. We go to the Metro League West Division matchup. Ann Arbor Pioneer, the Road Warriors, as they took on the Riverview Pirates. The site, the Kennedy Ice Arena in Trenton. Pioneer donning the white jerseys. A perfect 3-0 to start the season, looking to light the lamp early. Gabe Resnikow feeds to Juna Whitelock. The junior bangs it home. Pioneers up 1. Riverview hoping to win its 3rd game of the season. 30 seconds to go in the opening period. The senior Tommy Dunn's wrister from the point gets through. First of the season, 1-1 at the first intermission. Pirates look to take the lead 5 minutes into the second. Check out the moves here by the junior Gavin Holmes. He goes top shelf. 8th goal on the campaign. Riverview up 2-1. 3 minutes to go in the second. The Pirates added another. The senior Jack Lendon, right place to bury the rubber. Pirates led 3-1 into the third. Pioneer trying to get back in it, now trailing 4-1. Ethan Cotry shot stopped, but check out the junior Sean Fitzgerald. He knocks in one of his 2 goals on the night. Pioneers just down a pair. But Riverview, too strong, crashing the net. The senior Ethan Burso there to put it in. Riverview beats Ann Arbor Pioneer by a 6-3 final.
Understand what it takes to make a play, okay? To develop a play, all that stuff. Get up the ice, get back down the ice, and then get off the ice. Keep the shift short, keep the energy high. Energy starts on the bench. Let's go out, let's do a job, let's have a blast. Let's go, fellas.
I'm Sean Belegian. A pair of top 5 teams in our rankings went at it Friday night as number 3 Livonia Stephenson is at home to take on number 4 Detroit Country Day, who comes in the 2-time defending Division III state champs. We pick things up in the first period. Stevenson on the man advantage. Aiden Adamick feeds it to Brendan Hurd. He puts it in the back of the net to give the Spartans a 1-0 lead. Later on in the period, Stevenson on the penalty kill. And our National Coney Island Player of the Year candidate, Seth Louse, gets the intercept and he's off. Goes upstairs for the goal, and the Spartans lead 2-0 after the opening period of play. Country Day coming in now on a 3-game winning streak would cut into the deficit in the second. The senior, Lucas Kroll, right there to put her home. The Yellow Jackets now trail by a goal. But back comes Stevenson. Jack Smith with the takeaway in the Country Day end, then slides it over to Ethan Waldo, who finishes it off. Spartans back up by 2 at 3-1. They would capitalize on another power play later in the period. Junior Ian Kimball gets his name on the score sheet as Livonia Stephenson goes on to beat Detroit Country Day 4-1 your final.
All right, so welcome back inside the State Champs studios. I'm Jonathan Kidd along with Sean Belegian. Sean, how's it going today?
Excellent, man. Always a pleasure. Let's do this.
Presented by the Alta Equipment Company. Let's recap what happened between Trenton and Grosse Pointe South. 3-2 in overtime. And get this. So Colin Preston scored the game winner for Trenton in overtime on Wednesday. His older brother plays for Ohio State, Quinn Preston, and he scored the game winner against Minnesota on Friday.
Oh, that's good stuff. And I'll tell you what, this is one that we put a circle around. I mean, the start that GPS got off to opened a lot of eyes, and I think by going out and playing a powerhouse like Trenton the way that they did, I think that shows everybody how legitimate GPS is. Right now for Trenton, hey, listen, it shouldn't surprise anybody. They're one of the best teams in the state.
Another game that went into overtime on Wednesday was Midland and Midland Dow. Midland Dow with our Player of the Year candidate and Luke Blasey scored the game winner, 3-2 the final, and they're off to a 4-0 start to the season.
Yeah, you know, 2 good stories up there. You know, sometimes you hear from coaches and everything, and obviously a lot of people, almost every guy on our Player of the Year competition mentioned Luke, and that's why he's on the list. But a lot of guys said, hey, keep an eye on Midland, keep an eye on Dow. Dow gets it done, and hey, you know, what's the old adage? Big-time players get it done in crunch time, and that's exactly what he did, potting that game winner in overtime.
All right, we go downriver. You know, in our first couple shows, we talked about Riverview, Gabriel, Shard, Allen Park, and Trenton. Riverview, you know, they're off to a strong start to the season. They beat Ann Arbor Pioneer 6-3. You know, there's a team to look out for in the downriver area.
Well, and the best way to make people open their eyes and take a closer look and follow what you're doing game by game is do something like that. When you're a team like Riverview, you make people go, whoa, what do we got going on here? And pay closer attention to you as well when you get a victory like that. So that's good on the Pirates. Congratulations to them.
All right, we had 2 teams in your top 5 scoring off last Friday, Livonia Stephenson and Detroit Country Day, and Livonia Stephenson 4-1 winners.
You know, by the way, props to the coaches for making this happen. You know, if you remember last year, they played just down the road from where we are right now. So Coach Novak and Coach Mitchell getting together and have a home-and-home series like this, props to you for doing that. Your programs are both, you know, I mean, at a place right now you don't have to do that,
but you do it anyway, and I think that's good for high school hockey. By all accounts, John, I didn't get a chance to get out there, but by all accounts, Stephenson was really rolling. I still think the DCD is one of the best teams in Division III. Don't be surprised. A team that's done it in back-to-back years, they've been there, they've done that, they're battle-tested. So by the time the D3 playoffs roll along, not only are they ready by virtue of they've had those long runs, but they've played games like this against one of the state's best in Livonia Stephenson.
All right, it's time now for our Coach's Corner. I'm taking it on the road this week. It's presented by the Michigan High School Hockey Coaches Association, and I'm joined today by the head coach at Heartland High School, Rick Gadwell. Rick, welcome back to State Champs Hockey Time.
It's a pleasure to be here, John. Thanks for having me.
Now, you guys were up in the UP this weekend for the second year in a row. You beat Hancock and Houghton. Just talk about the experience going up there again.
We've been doing that trip for several years now, and it's more than just hockey when you take a trip like that. I think it's imperative for all teams to do some sort of trip because your team's able to bond. For our group just to get a little bit tighter, get more comfortable with each other. It's always tough going on the road up in the UP. They play a hard brand of hockey, so Danny R. with Hancock and Coach Markham over at Houghton do a phenomenal job year in and year out. So we're thankful that they have us every year, and it's just a trip we look forward to.
I know it's a new season, but obviously we got to talk about last season. You guys are now the two-time defending Division II state champs. Just how special was it to win it again last year?
You know, it definitely was. You win it a second time, it's great. Both of those were really special. And then you inherit a new group, and the new group's not the old group, but what you have are that success that we've had. So it's a stepping stone for our guys to get to. It's somewhat of a culture type thing when you have that winning tradition, which we've been lucky and fortunate enough to have the last couple years. It really puts a lot on the new group coming in, so it's a good thing.
And just talk about the success of Livingston County hockey, probably in the last decade, because obviously you guys have won 2 state titles in a row. Brighton's won 4 in the last 8 years, and Howell, they made it to the state finals a couple times.
Look at Brighton, Howell, and Heartland, like you said. The hockey in Livingston County is rich. It's been that way for a long time. I'll give the Kensington Valley Hockey Association credit there, and a lot of these guys grow up playing with and against each other, and they create that rivalry, so to speak. And then when they go their separate ways to their high school, it just adds more to the compete side of things. And in the county, we've been pumping out a lot of talent for years, and obviously the kids get good coaching. Obviously, once they're able to get to their high schools, like I said, they compete against each other, some of their best friends that they've been playing with growing up for years.
Now, you guys play in the tough KLAA. Just talk to our audience how tough the conference is each and every night.
More this year than any other year, and we're just going to get into conference play. We had Canton and Franklin. We're going to have our third game here against Howell. But you look at, let's just go even with who we played. Franklin's a much improved team. Canton is making some noise, a lot of tight games with them. We have Howell. Talk about the noise they've made. That's just getting started. When you add the Brightons and the Novis and the Livonia Stephensons and the Salems, look at what Salem's doing this year. I could go through every team, Plymouth and all the way down the line. It's a tough game night in, night out.
Now this weekend is the MIHL KLA Showcase. How special is it for you guys to be playing in it again this year?
I think the showcase is phenomenal. We give credit to Mitch over at Stevenson and I believe Brandon Kalinicki, who got it going with CC in the beginning. In a couple of years now, this will be our third year. What a phenomenal event, getting everyone in one place, showcasing 2 of the top leagues in the state. The MIHL got us the last couple, but we'll be coming strong this year.
I always ask each coach this, why do you do this each and every day?
Coaching, it's for the kids. I was a player. I played at Heartland. I have a lot of pride just selfishly, within the Heartland School District and Heartland hockey. And then you watch our young men grow every day, and especially the ones that are with you for more than just a year, 2, 3, some 4 years. Watch the young men become professionals, adults, and watch them grow. That's what it's all about. I know every coach you talk to, some of their best seasons maybe aren't a state championship year, and some of them, I'd say my most rewarding hockey season I had as a player, we won 2 games. So it's just that camaraderie, it's watching the group grow and all that stuff. That's why you do it.
All right, so that was it for our Coach's Corner. Thank you, Rick, for joining us here on State Champs Hockey Time. Good luck to you guys the rest of the season, and I'll definitely be seeing you on Saturday at the MIHL KLA Showcase.
Absolutely. I want to thank you and Sean for all the work you guys do. You do a great job, obviously, getting all this product out there and marketed, and I couldn't be more thankful, and I know our group at Heartland is, for everything you guys do.
Hey guys, I might be a little old school, but when I was in high school, all of my friends played at least 2 sports. Most of us played 3. When it comes to playing youth sports, you can have too much of a supposed good thing. New studies have revealed overuse injuries from specialization are reaching epidemic proportions. Multiple sports participation promotes using different muscle groups and improving eye-hand-foot coordination. Actually makes you a better athlete. Learn more about multiple sports participation at the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. Just head on over to MHSAA.com.
Hope you're enjoying State Champs Hockey Time. We've got one more show for you next week before we break for the holidays. Every Monday, we're going to put a poll on State Champs Michigan Twitter page, and you will vote on what jersey I should wear here on Hockey Time. Livonia Stephenson won this week with 40% of the votes. Congrats to Spartan Nation. Beginning the week of January 6th, State Champs will premiere 3 different shows a week. Hockey Time debuts at 3 p.m. every Wednesday. The boys basketball show Hang Time at 3 p.m. every Thursday. And State Champs Winter Roundup covering all the other sports Fridays at 3 p.m. You can watch all of them on the State Champs socials or on our website, statechampsnetwork.com. And beginning January 1st, 2020 on the brand new State Champs app. We've got more highlights in hockey talk coming up in 60 seconds.
I admit it, I love working with money, negotiating, and making big decisions. That's why I'm majoring in finance and economics at Lawrence Tech. What's truly amazing about the education here is the small class sizes that give me easy access to my professors who truly care about my future. They even helped me get a great internship. And I was able to fulfill my lifelong dream of playing college golf. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare.
The greatest honor a high school student athlete can earn, the Detroit Athletic Club Foundation's Athlete of the Year. You're one of the tops in your sport. Prioritize education and giving back, like Cassius Winston, Megan Bobian, Rakia Jackson, and Aiden Hutchinson did. 6 male, 6 female nominees earn $1,000 in scholarship money, with $5,000 each to be awarded at a red carpet gala in downtown Detroit. Nominations accepted now. Download the application, DACAthleteoftheyear.com.
And welcome back to State Champs Hockey Time. And it's time now for our Player of the Year update, brought to you by National Coney Island.
Well, and get your extra onions. Let's get that out of the way. We thank them for being a part of it. John, we're going to keep things status quo right now, but one of the things that we are going to talk about, and this comes up during the course of football season, as you know, and comes up during the course of hockey season. This is fluid. This list will change, I promise you. We've never, ever, ever, in the years that we've done this, had a list that we started in November and ended with the same list in March. Twice during this process, we had a guy that wasn't even on our list at the beginning of the year end up winning the award. So I know that people want their guy on, and we're going to keep things open. Here's the thing I always tell people. This isn't John's decision. This isn't my decision. I get a group of coaches every year, and a lot of the coaches watching, they can attest to this. They've been on our committee in the past. I get a group of coaches every year. We basically throw a bunch of names out there. It is then our duty to try to take the screwdriver and tighten it as tight as we can to get 10 players. Just to let everybody know what happens at the end of the year is when they're playing the finals at USA Hockey Arena in Plymouth, we have some group texts going on. You've been a part of it. I've been a part of it. Whether it be guys that are at the game and sometimes guys that, because life keeps them busy, can't make it to the game. And we rediscuss our criteria all over again. So I just want to make that crystal clear. This is not a decision of ours. this is a group effort and coaches get the final word. And I think they should. I think that coaches should get the final word because they're the guy that has to coach against them, game plan against a guy, and I think that's a smart way to do this.
You can cast your vote at statechampsnetwork.com. Remember, the leading vote getter automatically stays in the Final Four and gets a 20% advantage to winning the awards. So once again, cast your vote at statechampsnetwork.com, and that was your Hockey Player of the Year update brought to you by National Coney Island.
I'm Kevin Trozinski. We now go to the OAA Conference. ON TV coverage of Lake Orion taking on Rochester United at the Detroit Skating Club in Bloomfield Hills. This was the first of 3 games in 3 days for Lake Orion, and they would get on the board with 6 minutes to go in the first period. Just fresh off killing a penalty, Cade Manzo passes it back to Thomas Reef, and the senior puts it into the back of the net for his 4th goal on the season. Dragons out to a 1-0 lead. Rochester United made it to the D1 semifinals a year ago, would respond just 80 seconds later. They get the steal, and then it would be the senior Matt Canara sending the one-timer home, and we were knotted up 1 after the opening period of play. With under 4 minutes to go in the second period, Lake Orion on the man advantage. Reese shot is stopped, but the junior Brendan Finn is there to pick up the trash off the rebound, and the Dragons are back up a goal at 2-1. Rochester United would answer once again 40 seconds later. On the 2-on-1, Lucas Haddon pokes it away, but Jack Myers is there to feed it back to Canaris to put in his 2nd goal of the game. Going into the final period, it was a 2-2 tie. It wouldn't take long for Lake Orion in the third to gain the lead back. Manzo tries to stuff it in, but Finn is there to put in another rebound for his 2nd goal of the contest. Lake Orion now up 3-2. And the Dragons would carry that momentum the rest of the way. It would be senior Will McLean with the redeflection in front for his 2nd goal on the season, and Lake Orion is now up by 2. They would add one more just a few minutes later as sophomore Nick Hack sneaks it to the top corner for his 1st goal of the campaign. As Lake Orion goes on to beat Rochester United 5-2, the final.
I'm Sean Belegian, and we go to the first round of the Catholic League tournament from last Wednesday. Brother Rice goes on the road to take on the Eaglets from Orchard Lake St. Mary's. We pick things up in the first period. Brother Rice with a good scoring chance. Alex Hamady feeds it over to Matthew Herb, but the Orchard Lake netminder Blake Hazelton there for the big stop. We're scoreless after 1. Early in the second now, the Warriors on a 5-minute power play, and they would capitalize. Ryan Murphy gets it to DJ Dixon, and the senior buries it home. Brother Rice up 1-0. Right before the end of the second, the Eaglets tie this one up. Junior Matt Kufall, right place, right time, knocks home the rebound, and we are heading into the third, tied up at 1 apiece. Fast forward, 7 minutes left in the game. Brother Rice looking to take the lead again. The connection of Murphy and Dixon would hook up yet again as Dixon puts in his 2nd goal on the game. They would add an empty netter as Brother Rice goes on to beat Orchard Lake St. Mary's 3-1 your final.
I want to lead this team. I want to make a statement each game. I want people to follow my lead, so getting a couple goals there really helped me out. I was trying to get something going offensively, so I'm glad I did.
It's always a battle with Orchard Lake. You need to come and show up in battle. We'll take the win anytime we can beat them, that's for sure.
We now go to Northeast Michigan. The Alpena Wildcats at home to take on the Bay Reps. Alpena strikes first. Off the faceoff, it's Evan Krensline with the wrister. Gets by for his 1st goal on the season. Wildcats up 1-0 after 1. The Bay Reps come into the contest 3-0. They would respond on the power play. Under 7 minutes to go in the second. Junior Andrew Banky is there in front. Bangs her home. And we are knotted up at 1 as we head into the third. Early stages of the final stanza now. The Bay Reps would take the lead. Right here is junior Caleb Miller on the breakaway, and he puts in his 3rd goal on the season. They would add 2 more as the Bay Reps go on to beat Alpena 4-1 your final.
I'm Chuck Pellerito, and we go to the west side of the state as Byron Center went on the road to take on Muskegon Reiths Puffer. Byron Center looking to go 3-1 on their season, and they would get on the board in the first period. Reiths Puffer fails to clear it out, and it would be the junior Mason Breet in front to bang home the rebound. Bulldogs out to a 1-0 lead. And they would add another one just moments later. It would be the junior Nick Sheppers who snaps it through traffic for his 1st goal on the season, and they increase the Byron Center lead to 2. Then, with just over a minute to go in the opening period, Bulldogs were knocking on the door. Reiths Puffer tries to clear it out again, but it would be the freshman Brady Breed that gets the puck, goes upstairs for the goal. Byron Center went into the first intermission up by 3. Muskegon Reese Puffer came in unbeaten at 3-0 to start the season. They would cut the deficit 6 minutes into the second period. Fresh off coming out of the penalty box, Quinn Fowler gets it to Caden Brainerd. The junior slides it in. The Rockets now trailed 3-1. With 2 minutes to go in the second, Byron Center shorthanded but catches a break here as Reese Puffer turns it over. Carson Vincent is right there to put it in the back of the net. Heading into the third, Bulldogs back up 4-1. And it would be Byron Center the rest of the way. On the man advantage, it would be the freshman Breet once again from the angle, gets his second goal in the game. Bulldogs now leading by 4. Then a few minutes later, it would be Brady's older brother Mason getting in on the fun once again, as he splits through 2 defenders, puts in his second goal on the game as well. As Byron Center goes on to beat Muskegon Reese Puffer 6-1 the final.
All right, Jonathan and Sean back with you, and we're going to recap the next set of highlights here on State Champs Hockey Time, presented by the Alta Equipment Company. What do you have to say about Lake Orion? They had 3 games in 3 straight days. They won all 3.
Yeah, what the heck is that? 3-3. Come on now. And you know what? You beat Rochester United, who I think everybody knows what they're doing. You beat Ike. We were talking about Bob Hall, rightfully so, and the job he's done there. And you knock off Clarkson. Lake Orion, guess what, Dragons? You got that circle around you now. We're going to be keeping a closer look on what is going on with you and having the opportunity to go see you in person as well.
All right, we go to the west side of the state. Byron Center, one of the top teams in the area. They beat Muskegon Reese Puffer 6-1.
Yeah, that's an impressive win. You know, I know BC had lost earlier in the season, but they bounced back nicely. That's an impressive win. You know, they've got something going on. We talked about them a lot last year, rightfully so, and Byron Center continuing to make people notice what they're doing on the west side.
All right, we move now to Northeast Michigan. 2 teams that made nice runs last year, the Bay Reps and Alpena. They met each other on Friday, and Bay Reps won 4-1, and they're off to a strong start.
Props to the Reps. They just keep getting it done. You know, they were another team to me, John. They just kept doing this last year. They kept knocking on the door, and then finally they kicked the door in. And again, you can talk about getting coverage. You can talk about people talking about you, but when you make people talk about you, and that's what the Bay Area Reps have done, so props to them.
Brother Rice beat Orchard Lake St. Mary's 3-1 in the first round of the Catholic League tournament. They play CC on Saturday, but CC gets its revenge after they lost to them a few weeks ago. They beat them 4-0.
Well, I mean, listen, that shouldn't surprise you, and it's not a mark against Brother Rice at all. As a matter of fact, John, after we got done with the show last week and I did the rankings, I had a couple different coaches, no names mentioned, say, look, I think Brother Rice is the best team in the state. And the argument can be made. There's no doubt about that. But I'll tell you what, Kenny's doing a great job with them. They're incredibly talented. We're going to take a closer look at our Player of the Year list. I've already talked to a couple coaches about a name that's missing from there that might not be missing for much longer. That's a tease in the business. So we'll save that for next week. But no, all jokes aside, I don't think that's an indictment on Brother Rice at all. Newsflash, Catholic Central's still one of the best teams in the state, and so is Brother Rice.
Let's take a look at the week ahead in high school hockey. On Saturday, it's the 3rd annual MIHL KLAA Showcase. 10 games. You see the matchups on your screen right now. Sean, this is going to be some great hockey.
Well, I love it. This is something, whether, you have this or you have the showcase, or you have the public showcase, or you're up in Gaylord, whatever the case may be, this is what it's all about. And I love this idea. I always liken it to the Big Ten ACC Challenge in college basketball. Do something like that. And these guys made it happen. Props to the coaches from both divisions for making this happen. We'd love to see you out there. This is high school hockey at its finest, and really looking forward to being out there. My old stomping grounds at Eddie Edgar Arena. No kissing. No kissing this weekend.
Yeah, that's to you, David Mitchell. And also, too, you got the Gaylord tournament coming up this weekend. So, Sean, what do we say at the end?
We'll see you at the rink.
Time now for the MHSAA Hockey Clip of the Week. And we go back to earlier in the show. Check out the moves here by Riverview junior Gavin Holmes as he finishes upstairs for the goal as Riverview went on to beat Ann Arbor Pioneer. That's your MHSAA Hockey Clip of the Week.
That's our show for this week. Follow State Champs Michigan on Twitter and Instagram, like our Facebook page, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's also the best way to communicate with us on what you want to see right here on Hockey Time.
That's right. Next week, we'll have highlights from this weekend's MIHL KLAA Showcase. Hockey Time is your home for high school hockey in the state of Michigan, and your source for the best in high school sports is always State Champs. State Champs Hockey Time is presented by Lawrence Technological University, where Blue Devils dare. Also presented by Alta Equipment Company, Michigan's #1 construction equipment provider with over 40 brands. Get the right equipment for your project every time. Also brought to you by the Michigan High School Hockey Coaches Association. For all things Michigan High School hockey, go to the Hub, MIHSHockeyHub.com. National Coney Island, doggone good. And the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.